Hello guys, Inslayerclone here, back with a new video, you know, and today I'm going to be doing a video on 26-year-old incel because, well, I do this every year and stuff, so still incel, so, you know, YouTube almost took my last video down, the first incel video, you know, and luckily I got it back, so, yep. But anyway, I'm not gonna make this long video because, like I said before and stuff, got things to do in life. And I feel like the one the last three videos of the Intel series and stuff, I pretty much concluded my life, how I've upgraded my life and how I changed my life around. So I don't really need to like talk about things. I guess I can talk about the self improvement things I've been doing, such as like, eating right. Well, I didn't really eat right today. I went to the pub because it's bank holiday today, and I had a burger and chips with a Kloppenberg beer. Well, it's alcohol free, but because, well, it's sunny out, and I shouldn't stay at home and stuff. But yeah, that's why I did this bank holiday. You know, doesn't really matter anyway. You have to go back to work tomorrow, so all bank holiday and stuff. Why can't it be a bank? Why can't it be 2 days? Only one day. But hey, that's another video. It's like, what's the guy born into a corrupt system talks about? You know, oh, May Day and stuff, back to work tomorrow. Because, if you guys don't know him, he's American, lives in New York City, I think. You know, and yeah, that's pretty much what he's talking about. Makes no sense having the bank holiday or May Day. I think that's what they call it, because you still have to go to work the next day. So, so yeah. But apart from that, I've been eating right in a way. I've been taking care of myself. My hair's actually stopped my male pattern baldness for some reason. It's all stopped. So I cured my hair, because it was falling out like 3 months ago and stuff. So was it 3 or 2 months ago? It was really bad, and I decided to really start to change my ways and stuff, and now it's pretty much healed up. Now everything's my hair's all good. So I guess it's a combination of good heath and cutting bad habits out. Well, I still drink monthly energy drink. I mean, that's only one bad habit I still remain in my system. But the rest of it, like eating fast food and, um, you know, eating over 2,000, 3,000 calories, that is not a part of my programming anymore. I've uninstalled that. But yeah, I know it's not really even talking about the situation, because the term incel and stuff is all about involuntary celibate, whatever. I am still one of that, but I would say I'm a bit more sociable now in 2026 and 2025 and 24 and stuff. So has my life changed from 2023? 100%. I guess I'm less miserable. It's not because I'm not miserable. I am still miserable. It's just that I understand things are not going to change. After the e-file stuff, and people are still doing the same thing, like since the night. They're still doing the same thing. So why am I stressing myself about humanity and stuff like that? I think I've come to a logical conclusion. Nothing's going to change in this world completely. Like, because if the e-files thing didn't wake people up about how corrupted everything is, I feel like it's the conclusion is I've already won. The battle's already been won. So when it comes to like the human collective, I guess, well, that's what I mean. But as a personal collective, I'm focusing on myself now. I mean, I was still focusing on myself before, but extreme. When I talk about extreme focusing on myself, I'm not even bothering with politics anymore. I'm not even bothering even with like the culture war stuff anymore. You know, like when, you know, when like people post this about this person online and whatever, you know, about like Lily Phillips and oh Lily Phillips is destroying society or Bunny. I don't really care because society's already over and stuff. You know, I mean, all you have to do is just really focus on yourself and focus on your own life at this point. And like I said before and stuff, like I talked about my Monster Energy drink going up 80, 10p and stuff. It used to be 75p, now £1.75, it's now £1.85 and now. So things are not getting better in this world, you know. And it's either you accept it or don't, or live in depression, you know. And the best thing to do is just to accept it, you know. Most people don't want to change, you know. I mean, I think I actually watched a Twitter video and stuff of like these like Kenyans and stuff, African Kenyans in Africa, not even in Europe, celebrating Arsenal's victory. I think it's Arsenal. I think Arsenal won. I don't know, but they're in their droves, thousands of them in the streets of Kenya and in other African countries, and they're celebrating a football team in Europe. Tells you everything you need to know about humanity there. That, quite frankly, every, a lot of people deserve where they are. You know, everyone deserves where they are, guys. And you know, you can't be the person to tell people this is how we're gonna save the world. People have to come from it has to come from the people themselves. If they don't want to change, that's fine. Don't sacrifice your life for them. You have to understand this, guys, right? Because at the end of the day, you are eventually going to become frustrated between these people, and you're just gonna, you know, you're gonna get so upset and mad to the point that they're gonna drive you crazy. So accept that people don't want to change. Nothing's gonna happen, and change your own life. Make your life a better, comfortable, a better living condition. You know, and even if society does change, like what people want, the reason why people like you see these people like left wing people and stuff, right wing people protesting and stuff. The only thing they want really is they'll just want the comfortabilities of the Western hemisphere and stuff. They don't really want to suffer. Even like when people talk about like going back to the 50s and stuff or the 40s and stuff, where Britain used to be, wherever the West used to be majority white, which I understand why people want that. But they're only thinking about from a fantasy perspective, you know, because in reality, those people had to work every day. Those white people in the 40s and the 30s and the 20s and stuff, they had to work every day and get stressed working every day, right? Working on the train tracks every day in the 1800s and stuff, you know. So is it really the best? I'm not saying it isn't, but I'm just trying to say everything has a cost to it, in life, right? Like I said before and stuff, we outsource, building phones, what we like to use in the West today, to the Indians or the Chinese people and the Vietnamese people. We outsource those, the assembly process to them so we can relax over here, you know. So really and stuff, if if we're gonna go back to the 50s and stuff, everyone has to work in this country. Like when I talk about work, they're gonna have to be working like all these factories like they used to have in England and in all around other parts of Britain, in Scotland, and Wales and stuff, Northern Ireland. All these factories have to come back, and we'll have to go back in those factories, as we used to work 24 hours, no, 10 hours, no breaks, maybe even 11, maybe for 12 hours straight working, no breaks, you know, in factories. Because that's what majority of people used to live in the 50s, used to do, in the 60s. Which I'm not saying some people do want to do that, but that's not the average person. The average person want to watch Netflix and watch football all day. That's what they want to do, you know. So when I say society is already over, it's already over for the majority of people in the world. It is what it is, you know. And this is why, as a 26-year-old incel in 2026, I'm not worried about society anymore. I'm not worried what people think about me and my looks anymore, or my appearance anymore, you know. Because at the end of the day and stuff, they're not thinking what I think every day. They're only thinking surface level on everything, you know. That's what they're thinking about. Only thinking about the surface level of things, you know. So, but anyway, guys, I don't really know what else to say, you know, and and um, and if you guys agree with me or not about this and stuff like that, let me know in the comment section. But stop stressing about things getting better because it's not getting better, you know. I mean, a lot of people say you have to escape to Thailand, which is another trap. You have to escape to you know, second world countries and stuff, which is another trap, right? You're gonna be trapped either way. You know, if you escape to the third world, they have the same culture. Just like I talked about in the video about the Kenyan people celebrating Arsenal, a European football team, in the thousands. They're celebrating that because they hedonist. So no matter where country you go to, they're doing the same things over there. You know, so there's no escape. There's no escape. I mean, mate, and that's probably going to be my summer video on this channel when it comes to summer, maybe like in June, whatever, the 20th, right? There is no escape, you know. You either work or you suffer. If you don't work, you suffer. If you do work, you suffer, you know. So you can have a roof over your head. If you don't have work, you don't have a roof over your head. And eventually, like everyone in that will be living, even I included, and all the other people in the park right now, we all go to the graveyard eventually. So it wouldn't even matter in the first place. So yeah, guys, I know I didn't really talk about myself a lot. I mean, I did technically, but you know, it's more from like the outer world perspective and why I said, you know what, I've relinquished control that things are gonna get better in the world and in my life. Well, things are getting better in my life, but as the world as it isn't getting better. You know, because the world have said we don't really care about the e-files. They don't really care because if they truly cared, you know, there wouldn't there wouldn't be people playing football right now or driving F1 cars or um you know screaming about the World Cup 2026. You know, it would be like a global reckoning for the e-files, but it isn't. So anyway, guys, this is pretty much what I said. You know, like it or not, you're trapped. So yeah, I know I didn't really talk about myself a lot in this video, but what can I say? I mean, I'm getting better with socializing people, even with females. You know, getting better with talking to people, getting better with like understanding what it is. You know, and just really getting better in general. So I don't really need to like um, stress myself out when it comes to things because you're here or you're not here, you know. And the more you consume and stuff, the more you understand that the world's not going to change, the more freeing your life becomes because you're not subscribing to the list of society, you know. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know you think about it and subscribe.